you already have a migration, right? And you don't want to really go back and say, I'm gonna drop the whole table and then edit it and migrate it again, because you have some data already that you don't want to delete, right? You don't want to delete the posts. You have 20, 30, 40, 50 posts already in your application, and you don't want to go ahead and do that, delete it, right? Well, you can add a column without interrupting your data that you already have, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to clear my uh, terminal here, and I'm going to run a command, all right, to create a new migration to add a table. Pretty cool. So PHP artisan, all right, migrate, actually make migration, and then, all right, we write it, what we want to do, add, let's say what we want to add. We want to add a is admin table or something. Add is admin column or something like that. All right. You want to write something like this, or something descriptive. All right. Is admin column to tables, to post table, something like that. All right. And then here you create a flag that's called table, because you want to reference the table that you're using. I'm going to put a little equal symbol, some quotes around it if you want. And now I'm working with a post table. All right. Now you click enter. Now you created that migration. And of course, it's going to take a couple seconds of mine. Now, you're also able to do it, I believe, without the quotes, like this. All right. I think I tested this before and it works. So you're welcome to try without the quotes if you want. You're right. You can try whatever you want. All right, as long as it works for you. So I got to figure out why mine ID is taking a long time to produce this. All right. Let me see. An event log. And if we can refresh this, if it's happening to you, this has to be a way to refresh this. Synchronize the table. Synchronize migrations. There we go. Synchronize. We'll do it right away. All right. Cool. So let's double click this, and now we can see that we have the this schema here, that instead of actually creating the table, is actually is referencing the table posts. All right. So all we have to do here is use the object, right, table, and we got to add that column. So we're adding a column to our table posts, all right? And we're gonna add, let's say, is admin, all right? And as a matter of fact, is admin could be an integer, so we can use integer, all right? And we can make this unsigned. Unsigned means that it cannot be a negative number, all right? And if we want to drop it, of course, here what you need to do is you reference the object, use this method drop column. There we go. And you write the name of the column. Is admin is the name of the column. Enter. All right. So once you have this, you're good to go. Now all you have to do is migrate it. PHP artisan migrate. Enter. Now this is migrated. Now we have to go to PHP my admin and check it out. If you're using some type of if you're using another source for your database, that's fine. All right, you don't have to use phpMyAdmin. You can use anything else that you're able to see your database. Like I use SQL Pro as well for my Mac to look at my database information, which is pretty cool. So anyway, so let's go to Laravel database CMS, and as you can see right here, if we go to post structure, you can see that the is admin column has been added as an integer of 10. By default, it's going to give you a limit on how big this is, right? So if I wanted to, let's go back and let's just run a command here, And let's go PHP artisan migrate rollback. I'm gonna roll that back, enter. This has been rolled back, so it's not longer there. So what I'm gonna do is I want this to be a default of 2 values. All right, so now if I press my up key, and you can see that I'm doing things down here. All right, I'm gonna migrate again, enter. Let me see. Let's see something. Let's see if it migrated again. All right, it did not migrate it. I think I misspelled this. Let's just clear it real quick. Let's see what I did wrong here. Okay. Well, we can do this. Default. And we can put, let's say, a 0 here. All right. Or we can make this a tiny int. Tiny int. If you forget these values here, I'm gonna show you a way to find it in Laravel. All right, so we're gonna go to Laravel.com and we're gonna find this migration stuff. All right, documentation, migration. Let's just put values. Let's see if we can find it like this really quick. Creating indexes. I think indexes is the right thing right here. You see that? And it's supposed to have a list. There we go. So if you go to tiny integer, tiny equivalent, see that? So this is a tiny integer. This is what we want, and this is all numbers here, right? So we can go back, call this guy tiny int like this. All right. Now we can go ahead and say PHP migrate artisan and refresh it. And now you can see the tiny int with a value of 4. So that's the tiny int value for tiny integer. There is another one though called tiny int. But anyway, you can see that you can go to laravel.com and find all that information, which is really good. All right. Show you how to do that already. Everything is in the documentation, guys. Remember that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Okay, on the next lecture, I'm going to show you some extra stuff with migrations, but we're almost done. We're going to learn a whole bunch when we're building our application. So keep tuned for that. Keep enjoying Laravel. It's really cool. And I'll see you in the next lectures.